What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Tyson, the Gypsy King Fury. Tyson Fury names pound for pound biggest puncher in boxing. Tyson Fury is nothing if not confident, and his 4 stoppage victories in a row have him convinced that he's the hardest puncher in the sport. And this is what he said. He said, he said, who is the hardest puncher in the sport? He said, in the funny way, I am. I am the hardest puncher in the sport of boxing. And let me counterpunch. BS, bollocks, irrelevant anyway, right? Tyson Fury saying that he is the hardest hitting or hardest or the biggest puncher in boxing. I think that's just all cap. Why? Because we just seen him go 9 rounds, 9 unwanted rounds with Derek Chisora, and he hit Derek Chisora with everything. And you can say, oh man, he held back. Bro, he probably held back at the beginning until he started receiving bitches and slurs from Derek Chisora. Right? So he let Derek Chisora have it. How do you know he let him have it? Look at his face. Derek Chisora looked beat the hell down. So do you think that is a example of him holding anything back? No. Hades, no, it's not. Okay? That's not an example of that. That's an example of somebody punching somebody's lights out. But him saying that he's the biggest puncher, I don't see how that's relevant, and I don't see how he has any grounds to say that. You know, Dillian White, oh, okay. Dillian White, you hit him with an uppercut. I think if anybody hits Dillian White with an uppercut, he's either staggered, dropped, or knocked out completely. That's his kryptonite. Everyone knows that. Deontay Wilder, it took you 11 rounds of beating this guy up, beating him up, slapping him around, knocking him down multiple times until you finally took him out. And it took you 11 rounds to do it. So how does that prove that you're the hardest puncher or the biggest puncher? You fought a smaller Otto Vailene and you went 12 rounds with him. You know, now Tom Schwartz, you know, that is an example of him knocking anybody out. But guess what? That was 4 years ago. You know, you didn't knock out Wilder the second fight. The fight was just stopped, which I think eventually he would have knocked him out or whatever. But the fight was stopped. That didn't make you a big puncher. And then everyone else, pretty much, you haven't even fought yet. You haven't fought Joshua to say, hey, I knocked out Joshua. You haven't fought Usyk, the middleweight. You haven't knocked him out or fought him yet, right? And everybody, and then you went 10 rounds with Derek Chisora, which he was still wanting more. You know, he's war, so he wants more, right? So, you know, I mean, how does that prove that you're the biggest puncher? I just think it's all cap, and I think that this is just Tyson Fury's way of being pleased with the way the Crunk style has fit him. You know, I think Tyson Fury is being known for a hard puncher now, which he wouldn't before. And unfortunately for Wilder, he was the guy that had to find out the hard way that Tyson Fury was learning how to sit down on punches. He was learning how to be more mobile and to put more weight behind his punches, to be more aggressive on how those punches landed. And unfortunately for him, that's exactly what happened. You know, but that doesn't mean he's the biggest puncher. That's just Tyson Fury talking shit at his finest. You guys tell me what you think about Tyson Fury claiming that he's the biggest puncher in the heavyweight division. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.